Hey parents, this video is for you. Um, I've been thinking a lot about the reason why I'm making these videos, and the whole purpose is trying to help, families and parents feel like they can manage and have kind of a break during these times so that you can set them in front of the computer and they can watch my videos and, follow along and keep busy. But something that I think I wasn't thinking about was like your own stress levels, right? And like you guys as individuals. And since I'm not able to do really a lot of parent training right now, I wanted to reach out to you and give you some supports and also let you know that you can absolutely reach out to me and let me know kind of what you're struggling with right now. Even if I can't meet you physically or, talk to you on the phone, I can email you with some strategies. And I can do my best to support you during this time. So something I wanted to talk to you guys about today was, you're probably finding yourself taking on new roles as a human that you didn't plan on. Like now you are not only a parent, but you're a stay-at-home employee, or maybe you're unemployed right now, and you're also suddenly a teacher, and a mediator and a planner and a meal prepper and just all these new things that kind of fell into your lap recently. So I wanted to kind of talk to you about that from an ACT standpoint. So, it's really hard to have these rules that we make about ourselves and to struggle with anxiety when we don't feel like we live up to our own expectations. And I want you to just hopefully practice some self-compassion and forgiveness right now. I've been reading some articles about how to manage anxiety from an ACT perspective, and I thought I'd like to tie it into just being a parent too and all the new roles you have to take on. So I have a little list of notes I thought I'd share with you guys. And the first thing is to, make a plan for yourselves. So maybe work out what is in your control from day to day, right? And decide on how you could manage some of those risks as you see them. Don't get caught up in like the really big picture stuff, but maybe just day to day, make a plan. So it might be that you're having trouble getting the kids to turn off the electronics. So just think about that, just that one thing for your whole day. And try to write down a strategy for yourself and communicate with your partner if that is someone in your life. If you have a partner with you, strategize together and make sure that you can communicate those things effectively. Another thing that we do just as humans is we try to push away our anxiety, right? So, or maybe we're pulling back. There's a metaphor of dropping the rope, right? So we're playing tug of war with our anxiety, trying to keep ourselves from falling into this pit of despair. But if you just drop the rope, then you don't have to fall. You're basically dropping out of the fight. What that means, and it's easier said than done, right? But if you notice you're getting caught up with your thoughts and you're getting really worked up and stressed out, maybe just instead of pushing those thoughts and emotions and difficult feelings away, just let them be there. I've definitely been experiencing all kinds of different emotions right now as I process everything that's happening. And I'm really trying to just be in a place of discovery about that and openness, because we're all learning about ourselves right now. Also, this is something I tell the kids all the time. Underneath your fears and your negative thoughts are beautiful, beautiful values, right? So if you're stressed out because you can't think of what to do to keep the kids busy today or help them stay motivated and stimulated, educationally speaking, underneath that is the value that you just really want them to stay engaged, and you really want them to do well and succeed, and you want them to have structure, and that's amazing, right? And those are your values to do that. So just try to pivot yourself in the direction of where your values are instead of getting worked up and kind of entangled with your negative thoughts and fears around the execution of working towards those values. And the last thing is just to be compassionate towards yourself, because nobody knows what to do right now there's literally no one that has the answers. And I know I'm not a parent, so this might feel like difficult for you to relate to what I'm saying. But, I have friends who are parents and are BCBAs like myself, and you'd think that we'd have it all figured out, right? But even they are telling me, like, oh, my kids were up all night last night. I just can't get their bedtime routines in place. Or, like, I'm struggling to keep them busy. I'm running out of ideas and activities for them. I'm exhausted. And, we're all kind of on a hiatus for the most part. So we're not working. So add to that, if you're doing any online or telehealth, or, you're zooming into work meetings and you're working remotely right now, that's so many things to juggle at once. So many different people to be and personas to take on, and juggling different parts of yourself constantly, that it's okay, if it's difficult and you're struggling, because I can't even imagine. And I'm so speechless, because I'm struggling, and I'm, here with my husband and 2 awesome roommates. So, like, I really have a lot of gratitude towards you all as parents right now. So I thought I could lead you guys through a short activity to kind of help practice a little bit and have a little perspective taking around all the great things that you are all doing right now, and just have a little sense of self-compassion. So find yourself in a comfortable seated position whenever you can, and totally pause if you need to, figure that out. And when you're ready, come into a nice, comfortable seat. And I want you to just close your eyes and let me guide you through this. So just notice where you're sitting, and kind of feel the feeling of your legs or your thighs on the chair. Maybe have your arms up on your armrest. Feel the feeling of your arms making contact with the chair or the wood or whatever material, and just like notice that sensation. Now, as you're noticing it, take that feeling inwards and feel how it makes you, what sensations you're experiencing inside your arm or your leg or your thigh or whatever part of you you're noticing. And now you might take a deep breath in, and you can notice the temperature of your breath. So I'm noticing when I breathe in that it's kind of cool. The air is cool when I breathe in through my nose. Now I want you to just kind of notice that all of this noticing that's happening is being done by you, right? There's a you in this noticing machine that is yourself. And I want you to take that idea of like you being this objective observer of your body and this noticer, and let's take that perspective and now let's channel something that we've been stressing about, a negative thought we've been dealing with, or fear we've been struggling with, or some anxiety that we've had around something that's been happening lately, something that's been really hard for you to manage. And I want you to just let that thought and emotion, once you have it, just sit in your lap. And just let it sit there. And as that objective you, that person that's noticing, right? I want you to just look at it from that outside standpoint. Now I want you to imagine yourself stepping outside of you. And you can see yourself sitting in your chair with your eyes closed. And you can look at yourself face on. So you're standing in front of yourself and you're looking at yourself sitting in your chair and looking at this anxiety that's in your lap. And I just want you to notice what feelings you have about the you that's looking at yourself. What might you be thinking, or what are some kind of sensations you're having? And then maybe you can walk to the other corner of the room and look at yourself looking at your anxiety in your lap from the side. And again, notice what feelings you have about that you that's sitting in the chair, looking at this really difficult emotion and thought or sensation. Now let's imagine that you're actually looking at a memory from 10 years ago. So now you're 10 years in the future and you're looking at yourself sitting and looking at this difficult moment. So you're 10 years in the future, and you see yourself 10 years ago in the heat of all of this crisis, looking at one of the most difficult feelings or emotions that you've got sitting in your lap. If you could write yourself a letter or give yourself like a mantra to kind of help you, or a word of wisdom, what do you think you would write to this 10 years ago version of you who's sitting here and looking at their struggle? I want you to just sit with that for a second and think like what you would do, what you would say to yourself. And now let's slowly walk back into our room. We're looking at ourselves, standing in front of ourselves in the present moment. Jump back inside of our bodies. We can look at that anxiety again from our lap and see how we feel about it now that we've stepped outside and looked at it from, 10 years from now. We've come back to the present. And then you can go ahead and take that anxiety off your lap and open your eyes and be here again. So it's a lot of what I do with, the kids in our groups too, is helping them to think about, well, if you did something, for example, that you weren't proud of, how would you talk to yourself? And a lot of times kids say things that are absolutely normal, like, oh, you're so stupid, you're such a loser, I can't believe you did that. And then I might ask them, well, what if it was someone you cared about? What if it was your best friend that did that thing? How would you talk to them? And they commonly say something like, it's okay, no big deal. It's not a big deal that happened. Essentially, they're showing a lot of compassion towards everyone but themselves. And that's exactly what all humans do. But it's really good to step outside of this kind of self-destructive tendency that we have and drop that anxiety and step outside of ourselves and practice some self-compassion and love. And just remember that every negative thought you have is really tied to something really beautiful, some kind of really great value that you have. And I just admire all of you guys right now for hanging in there and doing your best every day. I can't even begin to imagine what it's like. I don't even have a dog to take care of, so I'm really have nothing to stress about, and I'm still stressed. So let me know what you guys thought about this. If you want more videos for parents, some stress management tools, or if you're looking for ways to build structure into your kiddos or your teen's schedule right now, I can help with that too. Feel free to reach out and hang in there, guys. Thanks.